So he's not dead. I knew it. Hey YouTube, welcome back to WeSibs, West Coast, East Coast siblings. You guys, we are in the third episode of The Third Day. This is Jude Law's last episode for this limited series from HBO Max. So, let's start dissecting. So right off the bat, we're going to get into the biggest takeaways, and then I have a few sub-takeaways that we're going to talk about. Biggest takeaway number 1, OC is the soul of the world, and the soul of the world needs a father to keep it from being dark and bad. So we pick up this episode right where we left off with Sam being captured by the Scarecrow people. They have a name, I just don't remember what it is. So we're gonna call them the Scarecrow people. Anyway, they kidnap him and he finds Mimir where he's being held. Mimir pretty much breaks down the mystery of the OC Island and what Sam has to do with it. Mimir tells Sam that his grandfather lied to him. He wasn't taken to OC. He was born on OC. He was one of the descendants of the father who decided that he didn't want to stay on the OC and be the father of the island and rule it and keep the soul of the world happy. He wanted to leave. He didn't want that life for himself or for his descendants after him. And so he left. And Sam is one of the descendants, i.e. Sam is the rightful heir to the OC. It is his job to rule the island. Biggest takeaway number 2, Nathan, Sam's son, is alive? In this episode, we find out little Nathan was kidnapped by the father of the OC, who is Sam's uncle or great uncle. Basically, what Sam and his son were doing on the island the day that Nathan, his son, died, I guess Sam was going there to make a deal or something. Was Sam going to take his rightful place as father or not? What it came down to was the father of the island was like, look, either you're gonna come on this island and rule or we're gonna take your son. They took Nathan. Now, I don't understand why Sam doesn't remember any of this, but he doesn't. This could also have to do with his psychotic breaks that have been mentioned throughout the last 3 episodes. I think they're saying he has episodic psychosis where his perception of reality is off. Maybe that's why he doesn't remember, or maybe none of it ever actually happened. We'll get into that a little bit later. But for right now, all you need to know is that Nathan is alive. He was stolen by the father of the OC Island. Biggest takeaway number 3 is, and I called it, Jess is a traitor. Just want to throw that out there. She was sketchy from the jump, and now we have confirmation that this girl is a liar. After Sam escapes from the Scarecrow people through a really disturbing and long and utterly silent montage of him trekking through the water and running through the forest and blah 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 blah, Jess saves him. He was headed to the mainland where she's like, I got you, I saved your life. No. And at the end of the episode, she holds a gun to him. She's like, I can't let you go. Jess empathizes with the island people. I guess her husband is on the island and is keeping her daughters hostage, and so she sides with them in order to get Sam to stay on the island and assume his rightful place as the father of the island. Now getting into the sub-takeaways. First off, Epona kills herself. Sam finds Epona slayed out on an altar with her guts all out, and her mother comes in and is like, basically, she killed herself so you would stay on the island. She really wanted you to be the father. The people really believe that he's the father of this island. Now, whether or not the OC is actually the soul of the world remains to be seen, but that's what these people believe. And they keep saying that throughout the episode. It's their belief that's fueling them, whether it's true or not. Sub-takeaway number 2, we finally learn what the crickets are. Jess says that the crickets symbolize rain. They symbolize all these other things. Biggest thing to hold on to from her conversation with Sam about the crickets is that the crickets represent death. This is getting into my theory of what I had teased at the beginning of this review, that Sam is dead. I think the crickets are around him more than anything. And at the end, when Sam sees Nathan, takes him into his arms, and they go into the house is surrounded by crickets, and the crickets are jumping around all crazy like, smacking the camera. To me, this means that Sam and his son are both dead. I think they may have been dead from the beginning. Maybe they both died that day Sam refused to take his responsibility as the father of the OC. Got a lot of questions answered, but we have a lot more questions to go. Also, There's a scene where he's talking to Epona's mother and all of the color is gone from his eyes. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Is that something important? Anyway, I'm really excited to see what happens next. Naomi Harris's character is coming in with her 3 daughters and it looks like they're going to the OC Island to find an escape. Okay, you guys, that's all I have for this review of The Third Day. Don't forget to like this video if you like this video. Comment, let me know what you think. Is he dead? Is everyone that comes to the island dead? And subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell so you can be notified of all of the new content we are covering here on WeSibs. Okay, that's all I have. Bye.